Hello, hello. Welcome to our Tuesday morning live. I hope that everyone is having a great Tuesday morning and is ready to paint because today is going to be so fun. So I hope that you guys will take the time to get your paints out and to actually paint with us today because this is going to be a really fun tutorial. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So definitely try to paint with us today. This one's going to be a fun one. So I really want you guys to, I'm going to show you guys in just a few minutes what we're painting. But I am so excited about this one. Now, my prompt for this one was super simple. And because I didn't give it much to go on to make the prompt for our inspiration photo today, I was able to, it came up with this super cute little my style watercolor. And I really, really like what it came up with, and I'm excited to paint it with you guys. So if you have not grabbed your paints or your watercolors, your brushes, all the things, then do that now because you are going to want to paint this with us. Hey, Kinder Kelly, how's it going? Welcome in. Today is going to be a fun one. I'm just sharing this out. So I'm going through my list here and getting this shared out to everybody. So give me just 1 second to get it sent to everybody so that they can join us and paint with us today because it's going to be a fun one. Love, love, love it. I'm super excited about it. Now, it's going to take some time, so I want you guys to be prepared for that. It may take us the whole time that we normally, we usually get it done and then maybe afterwards do a little bit of something. But I don't know that I'm going to have time for that today because this one looks like it's going to probably take us some time. All right, so are you guys ready to see today's painting? If you are, I want you to give me a thumbs up in the comments, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. Sure, Jen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Start with whatever you've got on hand. Hey, Angel. All right, Kinder's ready to see it. Grab your brushes, grab your paper, grab your paints. We are going to have some fun. Here is what we're doing today. Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that cute? I'm so excited about this one. I love the ice cream. I love her little face. I love everything about this. So my prompt today was just create a cute little summer fun character for me to paint today with watercolors. And that is all I gave the chat prompt. And because it knows my style and knows what I like, this is what it came up with. I love it so much. We're going to have so much fun with this one. So that is what we're doing. Angel, thank you for the repost. I appreciate that so much. You guys tap the screen, repost it, share it out, all the things, because we want everybody to jump in and get to painting with us. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to use the Mead & Tube watercolor paints. Mine are in a pan because I like to put mine in a pan, so they're not going to be in the tubes, but we are using the tube set. It is a 48 color set. So it is this set right here. That's what I will be using. But guys, you don't have to have what I have. Angie, thank you so much for the follow. You don't have to have what I have. You can use whatever paints you want, okay? Don't panic if you don't think you can do this because I'm going to walk you through it step by step. No problems. I'm going to put this up on the display so that you guys can see what we're doing today as well. So it's right here. I'm going to see if I can make it bigger. There we go. All right, that's as big as it'll go. That's what we're going to be painting today. Remember, our paintings never come out exactly the same as the picture, and that's okay. It's going to be our own interpretation of it, okay? Thank you for the heart me, Kinder Kelly. You guys grab those fan club points right here at the heart if you want to. It'll notify you when I'm live. I'm usually live Monday through Friday around 11 a.m. On Wednesdays, I'm live in the evening times at around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we do fun painting tutorials. So I hope that you guys will pull out your paints and join us. All right. Debbie, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. All right. We are going to start on this little cute painting today. The first thing you're going to need to do, though, is you're going to need to have some good paper. Now, the paper that I'm using, you guys, my neighbors are practicing. They're doing target practice. So if y'all hear things going off, if you hear pew-pews going off, it's not, I'm fine. It's the neighbors. They do target practice pretty regularly over there. So, okay, so this is the paper that I am going to be using today. So if you are looking for a good watercolor paper, this is the paper I use. It does not break the bank. It is a very reasonable price. The reason that I love it, though, is because it has this beautiful texture on it. It's got a really good absorption rate, and so it's easy to use. Emmy Jojo, thank you so much for the follow. And you can do 4 ACEOs out of 1 sheet of this 5x7. So I'm going to put our gnomes on here today because we did that little gnome yesterday, that little patriotic gnome. So, so I can get 4 ACEOs out of 1 sheet of this paper, which is nice. The block comes with 20 sheets, and therefore I can get 80 of these ACEO sizes out of that. So that is another reason I love this paper, is because I like the 5x7 size. It's a great size if you do ACEOs like I do. So if you are looking for a good paper, this is the one I recommend. It is 100% cotton, cold press, and it's 300 GSMs. Okay. Hey, Ginger. Yes, this one's going to be fun. I'm excited about this one today. It is definitely going to be a fun one. All right, so go ahead, grab your coffee, grab your paints, grab your brushes, all the things. We're going to get started. We're going to start with this. I'm starting with a Meeden paper. I have cut it to a 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. So if you want to do the exact same one I'm doing, then you are going to need to cut your sizes down, or cut your paper down to a 2.5 inch size, and you're going to want to go ahead and tape it down with either some washi tape or some painter's tape or some art tape or whatever you want to create your borders. I'm going to do about a 1/4 inch border on here so that it has a cute little frame around it when we are done. Okay, so go ahead and get that tape down with whatever tape you choose to use. While we are doing that, I'm going to start us some music because we definitely need some. It's too quiet when I'm not talking, so. All right. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. So just tape it down. KC777, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. You guys, be sure if you want notifications as to when I'm live, which I'm live most days at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time doing tutorials, and I'm live on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. But if you want notifications to remind you so you can jump on and do these tutorials with us, then definitely hit that heart me button up at the top and join that fan club. It'll help your account and mine. It's good engagement points, and it's also great for getting notifications. So Nadine, thank you so much for sharing that live out. I appreciate it so very much. All right, we're going to be using the Meeden tube paints today. I'm going to pull mine out of the container so that I have more room. And these paints there comes with 48 colors of these paints. And just so you know, they come in a tube, okay? but I do not have them in a tube. I have them in a pan, but this is how they come in this tube right here like this. And they come with a really nice large tube. It's a 0.4 fluid ounce tube. So you get lots of paint. And what I do is I just put them into these empty tins. That way I have all my color options here. I don't have to reach over and worry about finding the right color. It's all right here. And then if I need to refill it, I just grab my tube and refill it when I need to. Okay? So that is the paints we will be using today. Love these paints. They do not break the bank, but they're a really good quality paint. So if you're looking for a good quality paint set, this is a great one to have. But use whatever you want, guys. You don't have to have what I have, okay? I share the stuff that I use because if you want to use what I'm using, that's great. But if you don't, I don't have a problem with that, okay? I want you to just paint, okay? I want you to enjoy the journey with us. If you've never painted before, I want you to realize that you can do this, okay? This is not something that is reserved for museum quality artists. This is something that anyone can do, and we are going to do it together today. I'm going to show you how, all right? So we're about to start drawing. So if you guys that are drawing and painting with me will give me some thumbs up in the comments that you've got your supplies together, you've got your paper taped down, and you're ready to go. That would be helpful so I know that it's time to move forward into our drawing. All right, Kendra Kelly says yes. Hey Trisha, how's it going? Thanks for joining in this morning. All right, so we are going to start drawing. Now let me show you. You probably did, Ginger. Let me show you again. This is the screenshot of what we are drawing. Okay, remember you can hold your finger down on the screen and it will clear the screen so you can get a good screenshot without all of the comments and everything in it. So here it is. So anybody who is wanting to draw with us, SMaxi29, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Nadine, thank you for sharing this live out. Here is the inspiration photo that we're using today. It was created by chat, and so it's not anyone's art. We're not stealing anybody's art. We're doing this from an AI generated picture, and it will not look like this when we are done. So don't have any expectations. We are going to just do the best that we can and have fun on the process. Remember, I'm not a classically trained artist. I'm self-taught, and some of my stuff turns out to be a hot mess, and some of it turns out to be beautiful. Classically trained artist. I'm self-taught. And some of my stuff turns out to be a hot mess, and some of it turns out to be beautiful. So you know what our end result is going to look like when we're done. But this is what we're going for, and we're going to have fun doing it. All right, so everybody get your screenshots. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is time to start drawing. Now, I'm using the Nik Pro mechanical pencil set to draw with. If you use a regular pencil, just know that your line work is not quite as consistent. If you use a mechanical pencil, when you're using the lead on a mechanical pencil like this, you don't have to worry about the lead widening out so your lines don't get thicker. You get much more consistent line work with a mechanical pencil set. So I am using the Nik Pro set, which is... the one that I used to use is no longer available, but the one that I'm using currently is available, and it is product number 1 in the cart. I'm going to pin it for you guys so you know which one I'm using. All right. Okay. You're so welcome, Ginger. All right, here we go. Let's get ready to draw in. So now this is a lot, y'all. So just be patient and let's just do our best to get a good outline done. And then once that's done, we can go in and add detail and things like that. So it may look like a hot mess when you start. So I want you guys to understand that if it's a hot mess when you start, don't worry about it. Okay. I promise we'll get there. All right. Okay. So we're going to start out up here with her little hair and bun and bow and all of that, because that is going to be kind of guiding us in the size of everything else. Okay. So we're going to start off to the left side because we want to make sure that we get her little bun in the in the picture, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bow first, and we're going to draw the bow like little, it's going to be like a little teardrop, okay? And then it's going to have this kind of square, like a rounded square, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing. You know what? I need to fix that. See, already I'm messing up, y'all. Let's try again. We're going to draw the square first, and that way I know how to bring the bow out from that, okay? All right, so here's how we're going to go. We're going to go square. It's kind of like a rounded square, okay? It's got a little wrinkle in the center. And then we're going to start from there, and we're going to go up, and we're going to bring that down like that, okay? Same thing over here. We're going to bring it up to a point and around. Okay, so we have the little bow. Do it as we're going to make her bun. Okay, so we've got our bun. And then from the bow, we're going to bring that down like this. Okay. This is like the band that's going around her hair. And then right here, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to go from the bow around and around like that. Okay. I don't want this to be quite as long. All right, let's go ahead and draw her head or her face. Okay, we're going to bring that around. We're going to make the circle. And just make the circle. Don't worry about the shape right now. We can always fix that later. And we're going to be erasing some of these lines as we do the ice cream cone and all that. So no worries. Liz78994, thank you for the follow. All right. So now we have kind of this ability to give her hair. Okay. So now we have that kind of band coming down. Okay, now we'll do all the detail of the hair and all that stuff later, but just know that this is where all the hair is going to be, and it's going to kind of come out like this and frame her face. Okay, and this kind of fades in. Okay, so there's her hair. Don't worry about what it looks like now. Remember, it could be a total and complete hot mess right now. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Okay. All right. So now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round this chin out just a little bit because her neck's going to come down from there, and I want to make sure I have that the way I want it. Okay. And we're going to do her neck, and it's going to just be 2 little lines, and her shoulders come down and down right here. Okay, so that's her shoulders. Now let's go ahead and do the ice cream cone so that we have that size proportioned correctly. So we're going to go ahead and erase a little bit of this hair that we drew in and a little side of her face where that cone kind of butts up against her. And let's do that one. Let's do that top one first. So we're going to it's going to go around like this. Okay. And it's going to kind of drip. So you can do your drips random, however you want. And then we're going to do another one right here that's going to be butting up against her face. Like that. Okay. And Liz, oh, sorry. That was just now coming through. That's weird. Okay, sorry. I was going to say, Liz, thank you for the follow, but it had already come through and then it came through again. Weird. All right, so we have that one, and now let's do the next one. It's going to come it's going to come around over her shoulder. Okay, like this. And it's going to have its drips. Okay, and then we're going to have the cone, which, let me get this. And we have the cone coming down. Okay, so go ahead and draw your cone down to its point. Okay, so far so good. How we doing? Give me some feedback in the comments. Am I going too fast, too slow? How's it looking? Julie, thank you so much for the heart me. Appreciate that. Ginger, thank you for sharing the live. All right. So we are now going to let's do the arm that's going to come across the cone so that we have that kind of taken care of. All right, so the arm is going to come across her body and onto the cone. And we're going to have her thumb like that. And then we're going to have her fingers kind of go around. Hang on, I'm going to fix that. Okay, like that. And then connect that arm. Erase that line that's in the middle there. Okay, now we're going to have her other hand is going to come right around here. So it's going to swoop around like this. And we're going to have the pinky finger. And then we're going to have that other finger touch the other hand. And then around like this. Okay, so we want that line gone as well. My eraser was too big. It erased the whole thing. Okay. All right, so we have our hands drawn on there. Got it? They don't have to be perfect. We'll fix them when we paint it. Okay. All right, so now we need to do her dress. So we're going to make her little collar that comes down. And we're going to do her little shirt. Okay. Now on this side, the shirt's going to kind of come down and around like that. And bring it to like a little kind of point. And it's going to have its little squiggly ruffle. And then we have our shorts. And it's going to have its little squiggly ruffle. And then we have our shorts that come out from there. Make these shorts a little bit shorter. Okay, so there's our shorts. Then we have our legs coming out. And then we're going to have our boots. Okay, now the boots are going to come, they're going to go around her leg like this so that it looks like it's going down inside it. All right. And then you're going to do the other side the same way. You're going to go around and connect and around. That's the top of her boots. Okay. we're going to come down with this one and down with this one. So they kind of curve out to make the heel. Okay. They go up and out. Okay, and up. Same thing here. They go up and around and up. Okay. It's not so bad. Boots are always a little difficult for me. I don't always get them right, but we're going to do our best. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit more, a little wider. There. Maybe not. Hang on, I got to fix that. There we go. I can never get them to match. Close enough. Okay, so there's the boots. Now, keep in mind, these boots are going to have their little details. Okay, so don't worry too much about what they look like just yet. They will have this little base to them. Okay, that's the soles. And then we'll do our little laces and everything. We'll do that detail with our detail brush and our pins, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and pull up do our sign that is coming up from behind her. It comes up, and we're just gonna make it kind of jagged on the ends as it comes across, like it's cut wood, like that. Bring the center or the post up in between the two sections and do that again. Just like that. And then the post again, right there. Okay, so there's our Hello Summer sign. And then I'm just going to do some flowers or something right here. I don't think I'm going to do the bucket. I don't know. We might do the bucket, but I'm going to leave that blank for now. Okay. All right. You can do you can use your best judgment on that when you get ready to. Okay. Another thing that I think I might do is make her hair curly instead of the straight lines. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do her face, and then we will get our kneaded eraser and make her. So here is her little nose. It's just an upside down little U shape. And then we're going to do these two little holes for the nose holes. Okay. And then her eyes come around and touch each other. Like that. And then her face, her smile goes all the way up. Just like that. And then we'll have some little cheeks. Okay. All right. So there is our hot mess of a base design. Okay. Now that's going to change as we put color down, but just know that that's our guide. Okay. We do need our cherry on top. Let's get that done. I forgot about our cherry. Okay, that's our cherry. All right, got it? Okay, let's go ahead and do, the first thing we want to do is let's take our kneaded eraser and lighten up these lines, okay? So that we can we don't have all these harsh lines. So I'm just rolling my kneaded eraser over it just to kind of lighten everything up. Okay, just like that. All right, so we have our basic sketch. It's all lightened up, and now let's do the background. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to pull out our Meeden brushes. Now, these Meeden brushes are my go-to set. I have the 4-brush set, which comes with the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay. Y'all, I apologize. My neighbors they've got their target practice going on. So if y'all hear pew-pews going off, I promise you I'm okay. It's just the neighbors. They do it pretty regularly to practice their target practice. I'm in Texas, so that's normal around here. Okay. So these brushes do not rust. They have synthetic squirrel hair, so they hold a ton of water. They're designed so that they will reduce hand fatigue, and they have short stems or short handles on them, so they're really easy to control your strokes. My favorite thing is that the ferrule is really, really tight, so you don't get shedding. You also don't get rust in your water or in your painting because the ferrule will not rust. So they're a very good, high quality, professional set of brushes, but they do not have a professional price on them. They're very reasonably priced. So that is the brush set that I'm going to be using first, and I'm going to be using the number 5. All right. So we're going to take some clear water, and all we are going to do is we are going to put water all over our painting. Okay, it doesn't have to be drenched. It just needs to be glistening. Okay, and then we are going to drenched. It just needs to be glistening. Okay, and then we are going to just add that blue in all over your painting. Don't worry about it getting on your drawing. I promise you it's going to be fine. Okay, now once you have that done, I know, right, Tanya? But I guess they must absorb a lot of water because now this is synthetic. It's obviously they're not stealing hair from squirrels, but it's interesting to know that that's something that is used for brushes. All right, you just dry your brush off. All I'm doing is drying my brush off, and I'm picking up that water that is still on my painting. Okay. I'm going to just dry around the edges too. Okay, so now it looks like it's white, okay? You can't tell. But when I peel this tape, it's going to have a blue border around it, okay? Yes, it was just water. I'm sorry it's glitching, Tanya. I don't know why it's glitching. That's weird. My internet is I got a new kit. My internet's working really well, and it's showing me that I have a full green signal. So usually TikTok gives me an indicator right here on my screen when it's not doing well, but I've got a green light, which means it should be good. So I don't know why it's glitching. I put plain water on it, and then I put blue in it, and then I wiped it up with a dry brush so that I have a small blue tinted background to the back. Okay. Now I'm going to dry it and make sure it's dry. So what's going to happen is when I peel this tape, you're going to have this blue square background that's going to frame it out. That's so weird. I don't know, Tanya. I'm sorry. All right. So once it's dry, we should be ready to go. So everybody give me a thumbs up in the comments if you are ready to move on to the next step. All right. So you guys give me a thumbs up so I know that everybody's ready to move on. Okay. I don't want to move on until I know for sure that everybody is up to this point. Okay. We good? Yes, no, maybe, sort of. All right. Everybody's ready. Okay, good. All right. So now The next thing we are going to do is we are going to start putting color in. These are the paints that I will be using. They are the Meeden. That's okay, Tanya. That's okay. You can just watch if you want to. That's fine too. But do give me feedback. That always helps. Also, guys, those of you who are just watching, if you would tap the screen and share it out and all the things, that would be really helpful. The more likes that we get, the better it gets out to the FYP. And also, remember, every time we get to 30,000 likes, I do a giveaway. So if you guys are wanting that, you're going to want to tap the screen. Okay? Okay. All right, so we are going to now start putting our color down. So I'm now going to switch to the Meeden #1 brush out of that set that I just had pinned. Okay, and we're gonna grab some water. I'm gonna spray my paints so that they can be nice and conditioned and ready and prepped for use. Okay. And I'm going to shift you guys over here just a little bit so my hand won't be in the way as I'm painting. All right. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and start. Let's just put some color in the bow to start. No, let's not do that. Hang on a second. I've got to figure out how to do that. Let's start with the boots because that's going to be the easiest. And I'm going to pull out my detail brush from Golden Maple. I'm going to use the number 12. Okay. Hi, Alex Xavier. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, so this is the Golden Maple set that I'm using. It has 20 different brushes in it, and they are all designed for detail work. So you get your liners, you get your round brushes, you get your flat brushes, you get your angled brushes, you even get your fan brush in this set. It's 20 different detail brushes in one set. I love this brush set. It's my favorite, and I use it all the time for my detail work. Okay, I'm using the 12 over 0 out of this set for now. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here to the boots, and I'm going to drop in some color on the boots. Okay, so we're going to do pink. I'm going to do this light pink, and I'm just going to drop that in to my boots. And I'm going to now rinse my brush, and I'm just going to spread that color. And I'm going to leave the toe white, and I'm going to leave the soles of the boot white because we're going to go in with a gray in a minute and do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. Drop in that color and spread it. Leave the toe of the boot white, and okay, hang on one second, guys. I'm going to switch this. YouTube is very picky about what I'm allowed to play. So I want my background music to be acceptable because when I upload to my tube of view, I want you guys to be able to hear the audio. And if I have the wrong music on, it'll mute me. So I had to change that. Okay, so now we have our boots done. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we are going to go in and we're going to do the soles of the feet. Okay, or the soles of the boot. We're going to use a very light gray. So we're going to go in with this gray right here. And we are going to make sure that it's super light. I'm sorry I keep bumping my camera. Okay, so you just want to add as much water as you can to that gray. Okay, and we're going to make sure that we just drop it in and fill in the soles of the boot with the gray. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Now we'll put in details with these with our grabby multi-liner in a minute. So don't worry about what it looks like. Remember, every piece of art goes through an ugly stage first, and then it gets better, okay? Alex Xavier, thank you so much for the heart me. All right. So we are going to now we're also going to have to do that with the inside of the boot, okay? So let me, I'm going to fix this right here. Hang on, I need to use my small eraser for this. All right, so we need to come out like this. There we go. All right, so now we're going to fill that in with, first I'm going to take my pink. I'm going to go around the edge with the pink. Like that. Okay. Same thing on the other one. We're going to go around the edge with the pink. Okay. I'm just putting some clear water in and blending out these lines so they're not too harsh. Okay, and now that we have that, we're going to go and we're going to get the socks done on her legs. And then we'll add in that detail work so you can kind of see what that's going to look like. So when we do that, we're going to need our Grabby 003 and our Grabby 005, or you're going to need a micron or some sort of a waterproof, water resistant pen, or use your detail brush and your black paint. Either one will work. But I'm going to be using the 003 and the 005 in the Grabby multi-liners, or you can also use your microns as well, whichever one you choose. If you don't have either one of those, use a small detail brush and some black paint. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So let's go ahead and do the socks. Okay. So we're going to have the socks coming out in white, and then we're going to do or actually we'll probably do gray since we did gray on the boots. But let's go ahead right now and just do the pink part. So you want to get a teeny tiny bit of paint on your brush, but you don't want to have too much, because if you do, it will overtake your socks. Okay, so we're going to go right here. We're going to make our stripes. And we don't need too many because we want some of her legs to be showing as well. I mean, I guess we could go all the way up with the socks. Let's do that. Let's go all the way up like they're stockings. Okay, so that's how we'll do it. All right, and then we're going to take that gray, that same gray, that's very watered down gray. Okay, and we're going to do that. In between. All the way up to the shorts. Okay. Very good. Now we're going to take we're going to make sure that's dry, and then we're going to take our multi-liner, and we're just going to give those a little bit of detail. Okay. I'm going to use the 003, and we're going to go in and we're just going to bring those stockings down like this. Okay. Now for her shoes, we're going to do the little holes where her shoestrings come out. Okay, and we're going to go across like this with, okay, you're going to go just a little bit outside of the edge and round it out like that. And then we're just going to do our bows. We're just going to make our shoestrings kind of coming off of there. Just like that. We're going to go over the toe. And we're going to do the base of the shoe as well. Now when we do this, we're going to kind of give it some ridges. You know how you have the texture on the bottom of your shoe? Okay, now we're going to do that same thing on this one. Again, I'm using the 003, so it's not too dark. And it's not overpowering the shoe. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have our little shoestring holes that come in, and they're going to go up and around. Just like that. And have your shoes, your little shoelaces coming off. Okay. And make our little grooves in our shoes. All the way down. Okay, now we'll put other details and stuff in too. Go ahead and draw a heel right there and a heel right there. Okay. All right, so now we have our little shoes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish out these stripes by getting my black liner in there. Okay, just like that. So she's got her little stripes. All right, so there we go. Now, inside the boot is going to be really dark, okay? So I'm going to take my detail brush, and I'm going to take some of that. I'm going to go ahead and go with the black. Just make sure that that's correct. Yeah, I'm going to take the black, and I'm going to make sure that it's going to be watered down, okay? And I'm going to fill in the insides of those shoes right around her ankle. Okay, so it looks like it's got that shadow where her foot goes in. Okay. All right, how are we doing? We getting there? Everybody okay so far? So let's go ahead and move on to the shorts. All right. So if you're ready to move on to the shorts and the shirt, y'all give me a thumbs up in the comment. Let me know, because I want to make sure everybody's got it. Now, it's still going to look very flat and very much kind of a hot mess until we put our shading in. Okay, guys. So if it's looking like a crazy mess, don't worry. I promise. Remember, ugly phase is first, but once you get through the ugly phase, you will be fine. Okay. So don't panic if it starts looking a little off. All right. So let's do the shorts first. I'm going to use this cerulean blue. Okay. And I'm going to make myself a mix that is very light. Okay. I always like to go lighter first. And then once I have the first coat on, then we can go in and add some shadows. Okay. So make sure you put lots of water in here So you have a light mix of the blue, and we're going to do the shorts, okay? So let's go ahead and remember that the shirt kind of does this little squiggly because it's got that ruffle. And then go ahead and fill in the shorts. Okay, just like that. All right, now we're gonna take some darker of that same color, some darker pigment. We're gonna drop in our shadows, okay? We're gonna drop in some shadows right around here, this area where it's gonna be wrinkled. And we're gonna drop in some shadows right along the ruffle, okay? And rinse your brush, get water, and get rid of all of the harsh lines by just kind of rubbing over that area. Okay. Drop in some water if you need to, because we want this to kind of blend on its own. And then drop in any more of the pigment that you feel like you need to create those shadows. Just make sure that it spreads and you have all that in there. Okay. All right, so now we have that done, and we're going to dry that before we do the blouse. Okay. So go ahead and let it dry or blow it dry. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do the shirt. We're going to do that same thing. We're going to take that blue, that light blue that we've already mixed. And thank you, Casey. I appreciate that so much. Thanks so much for that. So now we're going to fill in with this light blue color on the shirt. Okay, we're going to go around the arm. Now, making these wrinkles on the shirt, I'm going to tell you guys right now, that is not my thing. I am going to suck at it really, really bad. But we're going to try, okay? Because I'm not going to get better if I don't try. So we're going to try these wrinkles. Now, what's going to happen is the shirt kind of wrinkles up right here. So we should have a shadow here. And then it kind of wrinkles up again right here. So we should have a shadow here. And then it wrinkles up again right here. So we should have a shadow kind of here. And so that's what I'm doing. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop in. First, I'm going to make sure the shirt's dry. Okay. And then I'm going to drop in some water right where I want my wrinkle to go. And that's it. Okay. And then I'm going to drop in some pigment in that area. And it's going to follow that wrinkle. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to drop in some water where I want that wrinkle to go. And then I'm going to drop in some pigment. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Right here. Okay. Now I'm going to blend those up so they kind of fade out with clear water, so they don't look so harsh. And I'm going to kind of blend out the edges of those. Okay. Just remember, you can add pigment, you can take away pigment, depending on what you're doing with your brush. So, but I wanted to kind of have just a little bit of a shadow where those wrinkles are. And I'm horrible at doing it, so, but that's how you do it. And the only way you get better is to practice. So that's what I'm doing. I'm practicing. Okay. All right. So we've got that all kind of blended out. And we have those shadows. Let's dry it. Thank you, Rock Doc. I appreciate it. All right, let's try again and make them a little bit darker. This time we're going to layer. I find that it's easier if I layer rather than if I just try to do it all in one fell swoop. Okay. And then let's do right here. And maybe just a little bit right there. All right, now I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to kind of blend it out so it's not super harsh. I'm going to go across the bottom there. You want to give these wrinkles up underneath them more of a shadow as well. Like that. Okay. Oh, y'all, these wrinkles are stressing me out, y'all. Okay. I'm so terrible at this. All right. But that's okay. Oh, y'all, these wrinkles are stressing me out, y'all. Okay. I'm so terrible at this. All right. But that's okay. We're going to get better because I'm learning how to do it, right? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of give her a little bit of an outline right here. There we go. All right, so now we kind of have wrinkles on her shirt. They're not perfect, but hey, every time you practice, they're going to get better and better. Okay, all right. Now, the skin color that I'm going to use this sort of, you know what? I'm going to pull out my, you can use whatever skin color you want. You can use a brown, you can use a pinkish tone. I'm going to use my Neo Color 2. They have a better skin tone than any of the ones that I have. So I'm going to use this. And all it is it's just a Crayola. But I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to color it on here. And put some water on that. And that's the skin tone I'm going to use. Okay. Well, I'm not terrible at it. I'm just terrible at wrinkle shadowing. That's one of my skill sets I'm working on. So I'm not afraid to say that I'm bad at it. I'm not afraid to say that, you know, any of that, because I know I'm going to get better as long as I'm practicing. So, but yes, I'm not trying to be negative. I just am saying that one of my struggles is doing wrinkles in clothing. But I will say this, I have improved tremendously in clothing. But I will say this, I have improved tremendously, but I will say that I want to, you know, obviously get better at it. So, but thank you for that. All right, we are going to continue in with her skin. I'm just using this skin tone for my Neo color set, but you can use whatever color you want for your skin and get that done. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go in with that. Hey, Whimsy Creations, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, hang on, let me get some coffee. All right, so we got that part of her skin is done. I am going to take out my Grabby Multi-Liner. I'm going to use the 003 again. And we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of detail work in on some of this, okay? So, first thing I want to do, though, before I do that, is this line along the edge of her dress is a little bit too much. So, let's go ahead and kind of blend that out some with some clean water. There we go. All right, that's better. Okay, let's dry it. It's just a piece of MDF. I do a lot of wood art. I have a laser cutter, and I do like custom wedding packages for people. Hey, Nat. Hey, how's it going? And so I have a lot of scrap wood laying around, and this is just a piece of MDF that was some scrap. Hey, Nat. Hey, how's it going? And so I have a lot of scrap wood laying around, and this is just a piece of MDF that was some scrap wood that I put on that instead of my desk so I can move it around and as I need to. So, all right, so we are going to take this 003 and we're going to outline. All right, so we are going to take this 003 and we're going to outline this so that we can get kind of an idea of where we might need to do any kind of shading. Now we want to have kind of some wrinkles in the shorts, and we want to have this little cuff in the shorts, maybe a little pocket right here and right here, and a zipper or a little, you know, button area on the shorts there. I'm going to now go into the dress, and we're going to kind of come around like this. Just kind of give it. Now remember, I'm using the 003 because I don't want it to be overpowering. That way we can do any kind of shading and details that we want to add without it being super overwhelming to the piece. Okay, so arm's going to come across here, and then shoulder comes there. Okay, same thing here. We'll go into that more after we do the ice cream cone, but I wanted to get that kind of detail in. Thank you, Nat. I appreciate that. Okay, now here we're going to want to kind of have some shading right around where this cone is going to hit. And we'll add in a little bit of darker shading there. So go ahead and take your detail brush, drop in some water, and then take your pigment of that same blue and drop it in where you want the shadows. Whoops, that was a little bit much. Rinse your brush and kind of spread that out where you want the shadows to be, kind of along that. line where the cone actually hits. Okay. Now, for the cone, let's go ahead and add in our brown for the cone. I'm going to do this like light kind of yellowish ochre color. And I'm going to put lots of water in it, and we'll put our shadows in with this darker brown. Okay. So go ahead and add that in, get your cone color on there. And just fill that in. Okay. And now we're going to take this darker brown right here. Actually, I don't want to take that one. I'm going to do this one. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to do our lines. So we're going to go straight down. Our cone like this with a very light touch. Okay, and now we're going to go across. Okay. All right. Let that dry. Thank you, LB Artworks. Hi, Blessed Artist. How are you? Welcome in. All right. Y'all give me a thumbs up if everybody's where we're at, or if I need to wait or slow down or speed up or whatever y'all need me to do. Give me some feedback. Thank you so much, Blessed Artist. All right. Still working on time difference. I understand that. Where I can't remember where you said you were. You were in Florida, right? So y'all are an hour difference, I think, right? All right, so we're going to drop in some clear water right along the left side of this cone where those shadows are going to be, okay? Oh, 2 hours, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and drop in some of our darker pigment. Just enough to just give a little bit of a shadow along that side there. Okay. And just spread it out. Oh, you must be way down Florida then. Because we take our motorhome down that direction, and anytime we're in like the Keys area and that stuff, there's a bigger time difference than just an hour. Oh, so you are an hour ahead of me. Okay, because it's 12:15 here, so you're just an hour. Sorry, I was confused. I thought it was a 2-hour time difference. Okay. All right, so we have that shadow in. So let's go ahead and dry it and take our detail brush and go ahead and outline the rest of the hands and everything so we can kind of see what's going on there, and that way we'll know where we need to put in any kind of additional shadowing, which we can do that with our colored pencils in a little while. But, oop, wrong one. I need the 003, so make sure you're using the 003, not the 005. It'll be too dark and it'll overpower everything. So Okay. And just kind of go along these little lines here too and give them a little bit, not too much detail, but just enough. And you can even do a little bit of hatching right along here to darken up that edge. Okay. It's okay. No worries. Oh, goodness. That's all right. I can never keep up with things either, so you don't have to worry about me. Okay, so now it's time to do our ice cream cone. So we're going to start with the bottom one. That's going to be the pink. Okay, so we're going to drop in our pink and just follow the little curvature of the drips and the one above it. Okay, and then take some water and just spread that pigment down. Thank you so much for that heart, me. Thanks, thanks, thanks. I doodle do you. You guys, y'all have to follow her. She's amazing. I actually joined her monthly program, and I'm so excited about it because I make everything so freaking complicated, and she simplifies it so much, and I need simple. All right, guys, so just keep doing the color until it's how you like it. Now you want shadows right up underneath where the drips are, okay? But we're not going to do that right now. We are going to do, thank you so much for the rose. Thank you, I doodle to you. So we are going to now do the next color, and then we'll come back in and we'll add those shadows after we get all the colors on. That'll make it a little bit easier to shadow, okay? So for the second color, we're going to use this yellowy color here, or whatever color you want. You don't have to, hang on, let me so y'all can see my color palette. I'm going to be using this one. It's a lighter yellow, but you can use whatever colors you want for your ice cream, okay, guys? You don't have to use mine. Just remember, it's your art piece. So I'm going to drop the color in at the top around the little drips. And then I'm going to drag it down with clear water into the remainder of the scoop. So it kind of lightens up as we drag it down. Okay. Perfect. Very good. Kay thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. All right, so now we have our second one done. Let's do the next one. We're going to do, I'm going to use this minty green color right here to do the next one. And I'm going to go right across the top. Just like that. I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to drag it down. Whoops. I'm going to drag it down with clear water into our drips. Make sure the layer underneath it is not wet, because if it is, you'll end up blending these colors by accident, and you don't want to do that. So okay. All right. So there we go. So there's our ice cream scoops. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to add our shadows. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clear water and I'm going to go right up underneath my yellow drips. And I'm going to add clear water and I'm going to drop in a little bit darker pink color. So I'm going to go right along here and just drop in. Some of that pink, okay? And then I'm going to get my clear water and I'm going to blend that down so that that shadow blends out. Okay, because we don't want to have any kind of harsh lines from that blend. So use that clear water to do that. Okay, same thing with the yellow. We're going to drop in some water in those drips. And then I'm going to take some of this orange yellow and I'm going to drop that in. Just to kind of darken those up. Take some clear water and blend those down. Okay, just like that. Thank you, blessed artist. All right. Okay, now we want to put some shadows up underneath the blends, up underneath the drips right here of the pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, I'm going to take some clear water and I'm going to drop that in right around where those shadows need to be. And I'm going to drop in my dark brown. Okay. And then when we put our details in with our black pen, we will even do more right there. Okay. So let's go ahead and dry this out. Make sure it's dry. And take your micron now in the 003. Oh, okay. I doodled you. I just saw that comment. Sorry, I'm sure she's probably off of here, but thanks so much for popping in. See, we're going to go along here and outline that so you can kind of see that a little bit better. Okay. And we are definitely going to do some shading on this ice cream cone with the colored pencils because it looks really, really flat right now, but I promise you it's going to get better. So, okay. All right. Next, let's see. Let's go ahead and do her face. Remember, we're going to do, I'm using this Neo 2 pen or crayon for her skin. So that's all I'm doing is just filling that in with this color right now. Okay. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and dry that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go and I'm going to add some water right along the base of her chin right here. We're going to add in a little bit of this brown just to give it a little bit of a shadow. Okay, take my detail brush. While it's dry, pick up a little bit of that color. I don't want too much. Okay, and just kind of blend that out. Okay, now she's gonna have cheeks. So let's go ahead and make sure while her face is still wet, let's drop in our pink for our cheeks. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in my pink right here and right here. And we want those to spread and kind of be natural. So I'm gonna drop some water on them and that's gonna kind of make those kind of spread out. Okay, and then we're gonna dry it before it gets too big. Okay, now go ahead and take my big brush and blend out these harsh lines that ended up there. Okay, and now I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to go in on the nose right here. Okay, and we're going to do a darker little brown area of the nose, just like that. And then we'll draw in those nostrils with our pen in just a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that dry. Okay, so let's get your 003 and we're going to do the nose first. So we're going to go up and over with the nose and then we're going to have those little nostrils right there, like that. Go ahead and give her, I'm going to switch to my 005 now because I want these to be a little bit more pronounced. I'm going to give her some little freckles. And I'm going to even kind of come across and over to her nose. Now let's do her eyes. And we'll put the white dot in just a minute. Let's go ahead and do the mouth. And now I'm switching back to my 003. It will be on my EBAY. This will be listed. And I will also be making stickers with it. And I will also be doing limited edition prints. I do that of all my art. I might even make some cute little earrings out of it. I started doing that yesterday with some of my blueberries from our other series that we did. All right, so we have her face done and we have that detail done. Let's go ahead and pull out now the Grabby 005. And we are going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do her hair, okay? Because this is the hard part. We're going to be doing, It's going to kind of go every direction and kind of be pressed down along the edge of her like little bandana bow area. And we're going to bring it kind of behind her hair like this. And it's going to come out like that.
Just passing through.
Okay. Love you. Are you leaving?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And we're going to come out through on this side. It's going to kind of go along there. We'll put extra little squigglies and stuff in once we get her little bow done. Okay. But what we want to make sure we do is we have this bandana kind of nestled among her hair. So I'm just kind of going in with this. It's going to kind of just stick out everywhere for now. Okay, so now we have kind of where that little band is supposed to be. That helps, okay, to get that prepared. Oh, that would be cute. Maybe we could put a tongue in there. That'd be cute. Yeah. Let me get this bow done first and the hair kind of where it needs to be, and then we will look at that. I'm gonna do this is the bun part of her hair, and it's kind of coming like this. This is the bow. All right, so we have that. So let's get the color in on that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick kind of that, I'm going to go with that pink again because it matches the boots and the hair. I mean, and the ice cream. So let's add that pink into, and I'm going to bring that pink kind of down into the hair. So it's like kind of tucking up underneath there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the rest of the bow as well. The great thing about these grabby pins is they are waterproof, so they're not going to smear when I put water over the top of them. So I can go back in after I've done all of that work with the pen, and I'm not going to have black smearing all into my stuff, which is nice. All right, now I'm going to take this darker pink and I'm going to kind of drop it in while it's still wet right around the edges of these bows and in the center right here. Okay, so we have that kind of shadow working for us right there. Okay, now I'm going to take some black. Can't remember which one was my black. I think this was it. Yeah. I'm going to take some of that black And I'm going to, I don't want it to be pure black, so I'm going to add some water to it. I'm just going to kind of go in her hair and kind of add in that in these areas to kind of fill it in just a little bit. So now we have the hair and the extra little whimsies coming off, but we also have it kind of filled in as well, which is nice. Okay. All right. Cute. All right, let's do the cherry. Okay, all we're going to do with that is just get some red, just drop it in here. Fill it in. And then we're going to have a really dark pigment right here at the top. Okay. Dry it. All right. Let's see if we can put a tongue in there. Add a little bit of red in there. Cute. Cute little tongue. All right, let's do the sign. Now the sign is going to be, I'm going to use this kind of reddish brown wood color for the sign. And I'm just going to fill this in. So whatever color you want your sign to be, go ahead and get that filled in. Okay, so there's my sign. And let's go ahead and dry it. I know, it's so cute. I love the tongue. Thanks for the suggestion. I love it when you guys make suggestions that I can kind of implement and put in there. All right, let's take our 003 again. Let's outline our sign. Give it kind of the details that it needs to look like wood. Okay. All right. Yes, absolutely. Do you make coloring books with your characters? I do have coloring books, Bald and Pretty Coloring, but not with this kind of stuff. Although I am starting to do sketches and have like single sketches available for people, so that because, you know, that seems to be really popular with people who like coloring books, is to just be able to download, you know, a couple of pages rather than a full book, because they don't use the whole book. So that I'm working on my ETSY site. So I am working on that. Okay. Thank you, Blessed Artist. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we've got that kind of done. Now I'm going to go on and I'm going to use my 005, and I'm going to do the Hello Summer. in very small print or very small script. Hello. And then summer. Just like that. Okay. All right. Now she needs some grass or something to stand on. So let's go ahead and drop in some clear water right up underneath her feet right here and along the bottom. And let's just drop in some green there. And we will worry about shadowing that with colored pencils in a minute. Okay. Around her feet. Okay. All right, let's let that dry. Perfect. All right, now it's time to pull out our pencils. All right, guys. So this is where the magic meets the road, okay? Or the rubber meets the road, I guess is how the saying really goes. But this is where the magic happens, okay? Because she's cute. I love her. She's going to be, like, she's great just the way she is. But she's a little flat. And so if we want to really bring her to life, using colored pencils to get those shadows to happen is what we want to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to give her little whites of her eyes. Okay. And I'm going to be using the Lango gel pens, which are right here. And I'm also going to be using the Color colored pencil set, the 240 set, which is right here. This is my favorite set of colored pencils. I use it all the time, and that is what I'm going to be using to do the sketching and all of the shading, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is the ice cream. So I want to start with the green on top. Oh, you know what? We didn't do our cherry stem. Let me do that really quickly. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to thank you, Blessed Artist, for those roses. I appreciate that so much. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my greens, and I'm going to find some colors that are going to help me kind of shade this to where I want it. So I think that is a good green. Actually, this one's probably better. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to do the light sea green. And then I'm going to need a lighter color that goes with this, which is going to be this light jade. And then I'm going to need an even lighter color, which I think I'm going to use this mint green. Okay. So those are the, oops, sorry guys. Those are the colors I'm going to use for that. Let me get plug in my phone and the battery's getting low. All right. Okay, so these are the colors I'm going to be using. We're going to do 3 layers. We're going to start with a light layer with a light pressure. And we're going to we're going to cover the entire cone. Okay. Then we're going to do another light layer or light pressure with the second green. and we're only going to come down slightly with that. Okay. Then we're going to use the darkest green, and we're just going to stay right along the top. This is all light pressure, guys. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to do a medium pressure, and we're going to repeat that process. So we're going to go in here with medium pressure. Then we're going to go just about 1/3 of the way down, medium pressure. And then we're going to stay right at the top, medium pressure. Okay, now we're going to do that again. Heavy pressure this time. And then I'm going to blend it one more time with this light color. Okay, so now do you see what that did for that cone? Do you see how it made it round? So thank you for the heart, me blessed artist. Nana, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So see, now this has got, it looks 3D. It looks rounded instead of flat. Okay, we're going to do that same thing with the yellow. All right, so we're going to now we're going to put these greens away. And we are going to pull out the yellows. And we're going to do that same thing. So we're going to find a very light yellow, which I'm going to use this butter yellow. And then we're going to use we're going to find a medium yellow, which is going to be, let's see, what medium yellow do I want to use? I think I'm going to use this, yeah, this light orange yellow. And then we're going to use a dark, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this, yeah, this light orange yellow. And then we're going to use a dark eye. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So we're going to take our light. We're going to do 3 layers again. We're going to go in with our light yellow first. This is light pressure. Then we're going to go up underneath the little drips with our medium yellow with light pressure. And then we're going to use our dark, and we're just going to stay right up underneath those drips. We're not going to go far with that, okay? Same thing, medium pressure this time. Medium pressure with the medium color. And then heavy, medium pressure with the dark. And then heavy pressure. So heavy pressure. Then heavy pressure. And then heavy pressure. That gives it that ombre blend. Okay, so now you see how that kind of blends down and makes that much more, it makes it pop. See how flat the pink is compared to the yellow? So that happens because we've done that shading. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that out. Okay. All right. So now we are going to do the pinks. So let me put the yellows up, and we will pull out our pinks and decide on the pinks. Now the pinks we're going to use on the boots. We're going to use them on the bow, and we're going to use them on the ice cream. Okay. So we want to make sure we get it right. So let's do our dark pink. I think is going to be, this is going to be a really good one for our dark pink. Then for our medium pink, we'll use that. And for our light pink, we will use the Sakura. Okay? All right. So So we have Sakura, we have Bright Pink, and we have Peach Puff. Okay. And this is the order. So we're going to use our light pink first. I'm going to need to sharpen this. So hang on. Okay. So we're going to do our light pink first. So we're going to come all the way, most of the way down, kind of make it jagged, and leave that center kind of light with the watercolor. Then go in with the medium pink. Sorry, I have to sharpen all my pinks. I use them a lot. Okay. Now we're going to go not quite as far down with this medium pink. Okay. And then we're going to go in with this dark pink. And all this is light pressure. We're just going to stay right along the edge of these squiggles. All right. Now we're going to go in with medium pressure. If you do this like this with 3 layers, it blends in a really good ombre style. You don't have harsh lines. So medium pressure and medium pressure. All right, now we're doing heavy pressure. And heavy pressure. And heavy pressure. Okay, and now I'm going to take a white and I'm going to blend that center out. Hey Talia, how are you? I'm glad you made it. How's everything going? I know you've got issues with all the damage and stuff. How is that process happening? How's it going? All right, so I blended it out with the white, and now we have that beautiful shadowing on our pink. Okay, same thing with the hair ribbon. We're going to go from the shadowed areas right here where they need to be shadowed with light pressure first. I need to bring this down just a little bit with this lighter pink. I need to bring this down just a little bit with this lighter pink. That's good. I'm glad you're okay. I've been praying for you. I've been praying for Stacy too. She's got her court this morning, so I know she's nervous. So I'm keeping her in our prayers too. Okay. So now we're going to do heavy pressure. Okay. Okay, so that kind of brings it out. Now take your white and blend it all the way through. Okay, so now we have those shadows in the bow. Thank you for the Go Popular. Appreciate that. Casey, thank you so much for the heart. All right. Now it's time for the boots. So on the boots, what we're going to do is we are going to put some shadows around the heel area. We're not going to have to do all 3 layers this time. I'm going to go in with the dark right here at the back. And then I'm going to go in with the light over the top of that and just kind of blend it up along the base of the boot. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the medium and I'm going to go right along the bottom of that and the side. Okay, and we're going to go with the medium kind of right up in this little area right here. Okay, and then I'm going to blend all that out with the white. You could blend it out with a paper pen, paper stone too, if you wanted to. Okay, so we have a little bit of shadowing in the boot area now. See how that's no longer, you wanted to. Okay, so we have a little bit of shadowing in the boot area now. See how that's no longer on the top of the boot too. So I'm going to get this light gray and I'm going to get dark gray. Okay, and we're going to go in with this light gray. And we're just going to go right along here and right along the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to take the dark gray, the toe, and the boot. And right here. Okay, and now I'm going to blend that out with this lighter gray. All right, so now we have our little shadows on our boots. Yes, the colored pencils make a huge difference. It's amazing what you can accomplish with just shadowing in with some of the colored pencils. That was one of my goals this year, was to learn. It's amazing what you can accomplish with just shadowing in with some of the colored pencils. That was one of my goals this year, was to learn how to use colored pencils better and more effectively. So I've been trying to really, really practice that. Learn how to use colored pencils better and more effectively. So I've been trying to really, really practice that. I'm going to pull out my other colored pencil set, which is my Sakura set, and get some browns or some skin tones. Because this one, the 240 set, doesn't have a ton of skin tones. So I'm going to use this one from that set to kind of come in right here at the chin. And along the neck, shoulder, and the tips of the fingers. Okay, and then I'm just gonna blend it with the white. I need to get me a paper blender, but I just haven't done that. Okay, so it just kind of gives a little bit more of a shadow there. And then also, so it just kind of gives a little bit more of a shadow there. And then also the sign. So let me pull out some browns on this for the sign. I'm gonna do a light brown. Okay, I'm gonna use this one right across the top. And then this one too. And then this very, very dark right in the center there. Okay, right in the center there. Okay. And I have my bread rising. I make a loaf of bread every week for us to eat. And I forgot to make it yesterday because I was busy. So I'm making it today. I don't like store-bought bread. It doesn't mold. There's something wrong with bread that won't mold. All right, look at that. Look what that did for that sign. Love it. Angel, I didn't like the spray. I got some and I didn't like it. I am looking into getting some of the wax. I know you're a funky like film, and I just didn't like it. So I'm sad because I was kind of hoping that that would be something good. P Gonzo, thank you for the repost. The crayons that I used are the Neo 2 colored crayons. They're, hang on, let me pull them out. I don't think you can get these here on TikTok. I'm not sure though, you might could. But they're water soluble Neo 2 crayons. And they're water, you know, they react to water. And they're by this. And I got to tell you that I love these. I've had these for about 5 years. They were a birthday gift from my husband. I begged and begged for them because they were quite pricey. And I use them a lot. I love these. So, yes, setting wax for sure. Okay, let's go ahead now and do the, let's do the grass, and let's make a shadow under her feet. Okay, that's going to really make this thing come together, and then we'll be done with, all we have to do is splatter. I'm not going to put any flowers or anything over here. I'm just going to leave it just like this. I think the splatter will be fine. I might do a flower with a gel pen. That'd be a quick and easy thing to do, so maybe I'll do that. But okay, so I'm going to take some green, and I'm going to take the dark green first, and I'm going to do the next darkest green, and then I'll do the next one, and then the next one, and then the lightest maybe. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 5 different greens for this fade out. And what I'm going to do is start with the darkest color. Just pick whatever colors you want. And I'm going to go right up underneath her boot with that really dark green to create that shadow. And then I'm going to take the next darkest green and I'm going to go over that. But I'm going to come down a little further. And I'm going to come out a little further. Okay. Then I'm going to take the next darkest green. I'm going to go over both of those. And I'm going to bring it down even further. And out even further. Then I'm going to go in with that next green. Go over the whole thing. And come out. And then I'm going to do the light green over the whole thing. Okay. I think I like this one better. I'm going to bring that out further. Okay. So now she's kind of got a little shadow of where she's standing. All right. Casey, thank you for the likes. So there you go. So now we can, if we want to, we can put in some flowers right there along the side that has that vacancy. I'm going to pull out, I'll have to pull out a green for the stem. Oh, hang on, let me get this. This has a film over it. Uh-oh. It's clogged. I'm going to try a different one. That's weird. I've never had one of these clog before. Okay. Just like that. And I'm going to go make the leaves. Okay. And then we can do our flower. So I'm going to take my 05 and I'm going to do a flower like this. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my detail brush and I'm going to drop in a little bit of color on the top. So we're going to go with my detail brush and I'm going to drop in a little bit of color on the top. So we're going to go with and then let's do an orangey yellow for the flower. Quick and simple and easy. Okay, you could do a whole bunch of flowers if you wanted to. But there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to cover her face with a paper towel and we're going to splatter it and then we'll peel our tape. And remember when we did that light blue background at the very, very beginning? You're going to get to now see that frame come to life once I peel the tape. So I'm going to cover her up. Oh, I got hair. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're going to cover her face and we will do our splatters, okay? I'm going to take my number 1 brush and I'm going to splatter with the pink first. So get lots of water on it. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to tap. Excellent. There we go. Okay. And then next we'll do the blue. So I'm going to get that cerulean blue that we started with and we're going to tap some of those splatters on. Not too much. It can get a little crazy if you do too much. Okay, that's why I cover her face. All right, so let's go ahead and dry it. And then we'll peel the tape and you guys can see that blue background that I was talking about. Do we want to do yellow too? I feel like we should do some yellow on there too. I don't know. All right, I'm going to put this back over her and I'm going to do a little bit of yellow too. Just because I feel like it needs some yellow. Oops, I accidentally got green in it. I don't want to do that. Okay. I had blue on my brush and it mixed with the yellow. There we go. All right, that's enough. Not too much. Pick this up. Pick that up. Sometimes I have to pick them up. Okay. All right, let's dry. Yep, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. We could even put sprinkles on the ice cream cones with gel pens if you wanted to. It would be super cute. You could put, you could texture your ice cream with different toppings if you wanted to. There's lots you can do with this, guys. I think she turned out super cute. What do you guys think? Now, she's for sure not the same as the picture, but that's okay. She doesn't have to be. Remember, we are making our own art out of what AI gives us as an inspiration photo. So this was our inspiration photo right here. And this is what we ended up with. I think she's adorable. Adorbs, adorbs. Yeah, mint chip. Ooh, that sounds good. Let me see if I can put some chocolate chips on that one. I'm going to put some chips in this one. Yeah, that's for sure a mint chip. Yep. Okay. So there we have our chocolate chips. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then if we wanted to, we could even put some sprinkles on the rest of it, but I'm not going to because I like it the way it is, but love it. I think she turned out great. Let's peel the tape so we can see that background. Y'all see that very faded blue background. It's very, very light, and that's all you want. You don't want anything that's super, that stands out. You just want enough to have a frame. Okay. So there is, whoops. There it is. I know, Talia, isn't she cute? I love it. All right, so there she is. I love her so much. All right, so let's review. We've done several different little fun people or little girls. So let me find the ones that we've done so we can compare. All right, so these are the 3 so far that we've done, and I think they are all perfect in their own little way. What do you guys think? I think they've turned out great. Now, we did this one yesterday. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so we did the fun little gnome yesterday to go with our gnome collection, which we have multiple gnomes. So we have all of our different little gnomes that we've done for each different holiday. And we did those with gouache. But today we did her with watercolor. She looks so cute. Gouache. But today we did her with watercolor. She looks so cute. If you guys are wanting to do this one, that tutorial is up on my channel, and then this will be uploaded to my Tube of You. And just so you know, everything is uploaded to that except for the sun. This one is not uploaded yet, and today's. Those are the only 2 that have not been uploaded. Everything else is uploaded to my Tube of You, and you can get the replays on, except for this one, which is on my Patreon. My Patreon. Okay. But this guy is uploaded if you want the tutorial for him. She's uploaded. She's uploaded. He is currently uploading, and she will be uploaded today. Okay. Yeah, the sunshine is cute. And you see how we did the colored pencils around there to give him some shading? I think he turned out really cute. All right, guys, I appreciate it so much. I hope that you guys had a great time today for our tutorial. I had a blast, and I knew it was going to take us probably close to the full amount of time today. So if anybody has any questions about any of the supplies that we used or anything that we did today, good, blessed artists, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and pop them in the comments. Thank you, Angel. You're welcome, Ginger. I will be on tomorrow evening. Okay, tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow evening. Okay, tomorrow, Wednesday, are my nighttime tutorials. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time will be my live for tomorrow. Okay, so if you guys are looking for me in the morning, I have my grandkids tonight. Remember, they stay with me on Tuesdays, so I can't do lives in the mornings on Tuesdays. So I do them on Wednesday evenings. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for our next tutorial. I don't know what we're doing yet, but hopefully it will be as cute, at least as cute as what we did today, because I love this one. And I really liked the prompt. I mean, it was such a simple prompt and it came up with something so cute. So, Blessed Artist tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So it'll be 7 your time. 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there it is. You can compare to right here to the one that's posted. So it's not perfect, but so cute. And y'all, my wrinkles look pretty good in her shirt. I'm impressed with that. I was really struggling with that, and that's not something that I'm good at, but I think it looks really good. I think it came out great. So I am excited about this one. I think I'm going to give her shirt some white polka dots because I think that'll look cute. I'm going to give her shirt some white polka dots because I think that'll look cute. So I'm going to go in here and give her shirts some polka dots. There we go. That looks cute. Stinking cute, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Casey. All right. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will see you guys then. Thank you to everyone who gave me gifts. Thank you to everyone who supported my showcase and purchased anything. Thank you to everyone who painted with me. And thank you guys for everyone that just hung out and watched and commented and shared and had a good time with us. I appreciate every one of you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you see me on any other time, it's because I'm working on, I'm doing other products because I have some other products that I have companies that have reached out that they want me to do lives for them. So if you see me on, pop in and say hello, but know that it's probably not a tutorial. My next tutorial will be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Okay?